Hi, I'm Bill Hegman. I'm a member of PEC, People Embracing Changes, and I am putting on a class for attitudes of awareness. Let's go to our flip chart. Start out with the attitudes of awareness. There's a lot of things that people can say about awareness, but mostly it's how you ask questions of yourself. This is stuff that you observe and how you analyze, and then constantly be aware of, constantly ask the right questions. We're going to only observe 3 questions today, and things that we stop to ask ourselves what goes on. First one is changes. What we change, how things actually change. The other thing is that which stays the same. This is the tricky part. People have different perspectives of what that might be. And lastly, more importantly, is observations. We all observe, but it's what we observe, how clearly we observe, and not just what we're told to observe. We're going to do a demonstration that involves bowls of water. In the beginning, we're born. And let's have a look at this table for a moment. This table, what's the surface of it and what's on it, metaphorically, this is my life. Okay? Look at it and how life is. That is its sum in total. But in the beginning, we have people who teach us about how to interact with life. And they're your parents. We got some helpful demonstrators today, so that they're going to pretend to be my parents for this demonstration. And what they do, they add to my life. And after a while, I learn what love is, what it means to be caring, and I get a handle on it, where I can give back to life. If you're that lucky to have parents like that, this is one of the most precious gifts, not to be taken for granted. Some people don't get that. This is I treasure, and I will keep that for when I have children. But as we grow up, we're going to have some more demonstrators of people who are part of your life. Work, girlfriends, high school, jobs, friends, all of them. And they come into my life and they say, do, and interact. And as I grow, I learn how to have the same handle on life. Notice I'm using all these blue cups, okay? Hang on to them, okay? So what these people are going to demonstrate is that as they come in my life, I give back, okay? And I scoop from the same source. And they scoop back, they pour back into me. Sometimes back in my, back into me, back in, back out. It gets busy, okay? Now, what I learned to do is when I change, is I start controlling how people interact with me, okay? So now, I use those handles, and people use their handles. That is life, that is culture. And this is a process, and we get busy with it, real busy, okay? And when I take control over it, I think that's change, okay? But there comes a point where I let people interact with me just directly. You can take life from me, give life, take life. But that's just letting things happen. Now, I can observe that, or I can even take this back and I can take the patterns. I can even choose people to make use of those handles. Right? Take from it, pour it. So that's letting things happen. And that's choosing to let things occur. Okay? If you pay attention to just that, you missed everything. Thank you. Okay? With all these handles of society, I'm missing my life. I am so busy about what's going on, I don't see these other things, or I take them for granted. Take for granted food that's been given to me, or exchanged through all this. I take for granted that I have a life. I take for granted ways of hold things and sort things. Take it all for granted. Now, what I'm doing here is using a glass table as also a metaphor. This too is my life. But once I move all that stuff away, now I can look at it. And glass can work as either a window or a mirror. It can have a reflection. And there's an Oriental philosophy saying, what's the difference between a mirror and a window? The window is likely to be a more honest reflection of yourself. Because in the fullness of life and the fullness of your interaction with life, it tells you exactly how you are, how you interact, not just what you look like. And the same thing why I use water. It can reflect. It can also be transparent like water. And it can fill any number of shapes. And this living, this culture that fits these handles that everybody expects you to have, I know how it flows. I mean, I may not understand what these cups are, but this is the sum and substance of how we act in life. Without it, we can't interact with other people, and people expect to see these blue cups. This is your culture. If I go, step out of the picture, bring a cup from a different culture and a different handle. This is a nice black coffee cup. It's got coffee in it. It's got water in it too, but it's got stuff in it. But people don't understand this. They understand this. They get upset with it. When I get to a point where I realize that and realize it's transparent, I can see it for what it is. Even in my life, I can look through and say, hey, there's something there. I can find something through it. And I said, oh, that's interesting. I'll put that in my life. I'll look at something else. I do like this too, but for demonstration, put it out of my life. Okay? And as people mature, sometimes, this is also culture too, picking up these little added bits. But the moment I step out of my life, I see someone having coffee, just it's okay, it's okay. Okay? And I have another cup that is representative of working with something different. And when people don't want to deal with that and are frightened of it or whatever, we end up hiding it. We still have to then choose to interact with the rest of the world with what they expect. I may have few people that may understand what this is and interact with them. But when people see me do that, they notice that I am not part of what they expect. And I have to observe it too. And this is when you start choosing. How do you interact? How do you let things flow? How to observe. And all this, in your whole life, most human beings don't get beyond this table. They don't change it, they don't add to it, they don't do anything other than through these handles. And believe me, I probably wouldn't be able to find this if I didn't look through and find another handle to bring this into my life. But that's a choice. That's from observing what is my society, what is my life, and what's not my life, and then choosing how to make something part of my life. I hope that the simple metaphor, which can be extended in many different directions, you understand that there's so much to your life, there's so much that you can see and be, but allowing what society tells you to believe, do, and choices and way to handle things, if you stop and observe it, realize that it's a pattern, that you haven't changed anything at all. You can change your circumstances, even within society, but you are part of that society. That means another person could replace you, and another person could replace another person. Nothing's changed. How do you become an authentic person? How do you have that choice? How do you add and change things in your life? I hope that you find this valuable, and I hope you find this workable in your life. And that's what People Embracing Change stands for. And I hope you come to our next class. Thank you very much.